Freedom is the natural condition in which God intended man to live. That was a quote by Abraham Lincoln. My name is Steve Ace, and I ran for House Seat 41. We canvassed all neighborhoods twice. We outspent our opponent who sat in his basement, and the algorithms came out at the end of the election. They looked very similar to other American First candidates that lost. There's a problem with that.
A razor-thin race, but because it's under 0.25%, you can have a recount by state statute. This race was 7 votes, so it's like 0.03% or something like that. So I asked for a recount, but I asked for a hand recount. The entire campaign season, I learned that 85 to 90% of the people out there don't trust the process. They have big questions about the accuracy of the machines, and whether they're accurate or not is kind of irrelevant. It's if the public doesn't believe it, you have a massive amount of public distrust. They're not providing any type of leadership to motivate and inspire and encourage people and help them feel good about the election process. They don't care. So they're either ignorant to what's going on or they're complicit in it.
The reason for me to run was that I was challenging the incumbent county commissioner, but prior to being the county commissioner, she was our county clerk. And knowing that, and knowing how people felt about elections, I knew that she was the architect of elections in Utah County. As a commissioner in that role, I would not be perpetuating that process. I would be challenging it, and I'd be very vocal about it. And I was willing to step in as a commissioner and take that role. Convenience should not be our first consideration with our vote. And until better options are available, we should go back to in-person voting, paper ballots with ID, and I'll add, in our precinct. How I received at convention was incongruent with the primary results. We need to go back to a 1 day of voting, not a month of voting. We need to go back to voting in person with an ID, even in our precinct, staying within our precinct, and that way we're voting with our neighbors and people that we know. And the poll workers are people that we know. That's what I see would be a great advantage in helping, right the ship as it comes to election integrity.
If the role of the Board of Canvassers is just to rubber stamp and to get a summary, then is that really what we're looking for? In this issue and at this time, there is only one vote that we can cast, and it's yes. That's it. There's no other options, because if we vote no, they certified another route anyway. Why are we going through it? We want our elected officials to be a part of a check and a balance, and we kind of look at the board of as canvassers as part of that check and balance. But is it really functioning as a check and balance if that's the vote that we get? Is that we get a vote yes, and that's it. We got an hour or two, to look at some of this stuff on a superficial level. I know that Lieutenant Governor's office with 1% comes through and takes a peek at it and says, here's the information on a summary basis that you sent to us. I'm going to pick this one, and this one. You go back and give me a spot check with it. I personally think that's inadequate. I think that that's really superficial, and I think it doesn't give us it doesn't give us the level of scrutiny that an election needs to have.
We have major problems here with Rhino. I think we get the Rhino Capital of the World designation. I realized very soon that Lieutenant Governor and Governor's Office were not being fair. They have denied records, cast vote records. They've threatened suit on county clerks that provide those records. And we have two young ladies here that have led that fight. And I'm here to introduce Sophie Anderson and Jen Orton, the two red pills.